Hi guys, the 2020 IPL has finally come to an end. The Mumbai Indians have won their fifth trophy, and I think they truly deserve to win this title because they played consistently well throughout this IPL. They dominated throughout this IPL. I must say they played like Australia, like how Australia plays in the World Cup, and they were the first team to make the playoffs. And it's a well-deserved win altogether. This IPL was quite special for a lot of cricketers because this IPL happened after a global outbreak, a global pandemic, the coronavirus, and players went into lockdown for 2-3 months as cricket was stopped. And after coming back from the lockdown, players had, I think, about a month to practice and train and get ready for the IPL. And I guess this IPL was played. This IPL was played quite well for a lot of them. Now talking about this IPL was hosted in a bubble. It was hosted in Dubai, and this is the third time an IPL has been hosted in a foreign country. The first time IPL was hosted in a foreign country was 2009, where it was hosted in South Africa, and then in 2014, where initially it was hosted in Dubai and later shifted back to India as a result of the ongoing Indian elections. One thing this IPL had was it was quite there were quite a majority of one-sided games that I witnessed. The team batting first would end up scoring 170 to 190 runs, sometimes even 200, and then the team batting second wouldn't really give a fight. They would play quite slow, and that would kill the entertainment of the fun of T20 because there would be no competition. It would be a simple one-sided match, and that happened for quite a lot of matches. And one thing I exclusively missed this IPL was MS Dhoni's explosive knock, because as we know, MS Dhoni is known as the finisher of cricket, and he didn't have any 50s throughout this IPL. Um, he struggled throughout this IPL, and he didn't get any 50s either. So it was I was quite disappointed to watch MS Dhoni struggle throughout this IPL. And now when we talk about the pros and cons of each team, first let's start off with Mumbai Indians. Mumbai Indians played consistently well throughout this IPL. Had star players Rohit Sharma, Quentin de Kock, Krunal Pandya, Hardik Pandya, Surya Kumar Yadav. Everyone performed exclusively well, and even Jasprit Bumrah with the bat, the ball, and the fielding, it was exclusively well, and they truly deserve to win this IPL. Talking about Delhi, I think Delhi also played quite well. Shikhar Dhawan was a standout performer for me. Two back-to-back hundreds, and that happened for the first time in IPL history. Rabada won the purple cap. Rabada was also quite a big contributor. Akshar Patel can be a good all good can be a good all rounder for Team India in the upcoming series that happens, and then Rishabh Pant, I would say, was quite inconsistent throughout this IPL, and I missed. Unfortunately, he didn't get any 50s or any good knocks this IPL, and that's the reason why he didn't get selected for the India vs Australia series. And then Prithvi Shaw, I think, had one or two good knocks, but but then struggled with form after quite some time, and that's the reason he wasn't in the playing 11 for the playoffs. And then when we talk about Sunrisers Hyderabad, I think Sunrisers Hyderabad played really well this IPL, really consistently. I'm also from Hyderabad, and I'm quite a Sunrisers fan myself. I must say Sunrisers had a disadvantage this IPL because Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Vijay Shankar, Mitchell Marsh, and Vridhaman Saha all got injured in the middle of this IPL, and I think David Warner, Kane Williamson, um, Rashid Khan, everyone contributed really well to take Sunrisers Hyderabad to the playoffs and finish third. I think they've been quite consistent because they've been making the playoffs since 2016, and it's really good for a team to do that. And then we talk about Chennai Super Kings. Chennai Super Kings were quite a disappointment this IPL because they didn't play as what we would expect them to play because they struggled to win matches. MS Dhoni was not in form, And Kedar Jadhav was quite a big disappointment for this IPL because Kedar Jadhav was bought for I think 7.8 crores, and he had a tough time fielding. He couldn't contribute with the bat. He couldn't finish games. He couldn't ball. So it was quite disappointing for Kedar Jadhav. Quite a bad season for him, and he didn't make the Indian squad as well. And then I think Gaikwad was quite. I think was quite a good performer for CSK because he led CSK to quite a few victories, and I think Sam Curran is the all time all is probably the best performer for CSK because he played consistently well throughout this IPL. He can field, he can bat, he can ball, and he's only 20 years old. So that's great for a 20-year-old cricketer. And then when we talk about Imran Tahir's performance, unfortunately, he only got 3 games this IPL. He was the purple cap last year, and he only ended up picking 1 wicket up for this season. And I guess it's because there were quite a few good foreign players this IPL in CSK. So I guess Imran Tahir didn't really get game time. And then when we talk about KKR, I think Dinesh Karthik struggled with his form. Andre Russell played really well. Ian Morgan was consistent. Shubman Gill was consistent. Lockie Ferguson was really good with the ball. Really, I think that Sunrisers match he crushed Sunrisers, which is deadly bowling. Picked up 5 wickets, but unfortunately Rajasthan couldn't make the playoffs. Um KKR, sorry, Kolkata couldn't make the playoffs. Rajasthan Royals had some good players. I think some consistent players this IPL. Uh, Jofra Archer, Ben Stokes, Steve Smith, even Rahul Tewatia. They all played they played amazingly well this IPL. But unfortunately, due to some losses, I think a lot of batting collapses happened for Rajasthan Royals, and that quite that didn't help them make the playoffs, and that got them eliminated from the IPL. And then we have when we talk about the Kings 11 Punjab. Kings 11 Punjab had star players, and they had quite a chance to win this IPL this year. They had Mohammad Shami, KL Rahul, um, Chris Jordan, Chris Gale, Glenn Maxwell, Nicholas Poran. Quite a big expectations when you hear these big names. But unfortunately, a lot of players weren't consistent throughout this IPL. KL Rahul and Mayank Agrawal, Mohammad Shami were very consistent throughout this IPL, but Nicholas Poran, Glenn Maxwell, and even Sarfaraz Khan were quite a big disappointment for Kings 11 Punjab, and I guess that's the reason why they didn't make the playoffs this year. But I think Chris Gale's addition in the later half of this IPL was a blessing in disguise for them because they kept consistently winning games, but they lost. I think it was too late at that time because they lost quite a few. They lost quite a few games, and that didn't help them make the playoffs. So when we talk about the pros and cons of Royal Challengers Bangalore, Royal Challengers Bangalore played quite well this season, and they made the playoffs finally after 4 years because the last time they made the playoffs was back in 2016 when they made the finals, and they lost to Sunrisers Hyderabad there. But I think after that 2017 season, 2018 season, or 2019 season, they've all been quite big failures for Royal Challengers Bangalore because they've played very inconsistent and they've lost quite a lot of matches. And it was quite disappointing for the Royal Challengers fans. And there's a slogan in Kannada which is quite popular and says "Ee Sala Cup Namde," which means this year the cup is ours. And that slogan's been out there for I think for 3 years now, and unfortunately the cup has never gone Bangalore's way. In this IPL, I would say for Bangalore, I think Virat Kohli and ABD were the star players for Bangalore, but quite a few youngsters really had the potential, and they played quite well as well. That's Devdutt Padikkal, Mohammad Siraj, Washington Sundar, Shahbaz Ahmed, and um, and even Yuzvendra Chahal. Moin Ali was quite a disappointment for this IPL because he didn't play. Moin Ali and Josh Philippe, they were both quite a big disappointment for Royal Challengers Bangalore because none of them contributed well with the bat, and that they needed a good all-rounder to win games for them. Even Chris Morris couldn't contribute well with the bat either and with the ball. Um, that due to a mixture of consistent and inconsistent players, Bangalore ended up finishing fourth this IPL and couldn't win the IPL this year. And I think they initially played really well this IPL, but after some time when they knew that they were probably going to make the playoffs, I think they ended up losing 5 games in a row, and they made the playoffs, and then they lost to Sunrisers, and they got eliminated. So I guess this IPL was quite a good IPL for Bangalore because they played pretty well, but I would say they can do better. So yeah. So and I guess this IPL was uh, it was it wasn't the best. It was quite an entertaining IPL because, of course, I'm a cricket fan myself, and I think watching cricket after a very long time, after the Corona breakdown and the lockdown, was quite an entertainment for me, and I really like this IPL. And I must say that this IPL helped select quite a few new names for the upcoming India versus Australia series. T. Natarajan, Mohammad Siraj, Navdeep Saini, Varun Chakravarti, Shubman Gill, they all played consistently this IPL and ended up getting selected for the upcoming India versus Australia series. And quite a few players who've played for India, unfortunately, due to the inconsistency in this IPL, didn't make the India versus Australia series. That is Kedar Jadhav and Rishabh Pant. Unfortunately, due to their and even Prithvi Shaw, unfortunately due to their inconsistency, they didn't make the India squad. So this IPL season has ended and was quite entertaining for 2 months. So thank you so much for watching my video, and please leave a like and also comment what you liked about this IPL and what you didn't like about this IPL. Thank you so much.